Hello everyone, this is Cookie Lou 46, aka Lucille. I'd like to wish everyone out there in weight loss land a very happy new year. It's official, it's 2012. Have you made new wishes for this coming year? Resolutions? Promised yourself that you would stay on your diet, tone up, get healthy, make good choices, be happy, be strong, be thinner. Well, I'm sure you have made all those resolutions many, many times before, and I'm sure you've made them again, as have I. Um, I did have a very nice time on Thanksgiving. I went to a friend's house, my girlfriend Shirley, who I recently reunited with after 17 years of distance between us. I had moved away to Florida, and things happened and I lost touch with her. But anyway, Shirley and I reunited again, and she invited me over to her home for New Year's Eve, and it was a very interesting time. It was something different. I've never experienced a gathering like this before, and I suggest that you might think of maybe doing it yourself next year for 2013. Anyway, this is what we did. My friend Shirley and four of her neighbors, they got together and they have what I would call a walkabout. They start at one neighbor's house. Her friend Lisa and Ralph across the street started with the first course of the meal. And Lisa made a delicious tortilla, white bean and chicken tortilla type soup. It was spicy, it had a Mexican flair to it. And she had some fresh baked bread, and the house was decorated really lovely, and candles on the table, and we had drinks, and we had soup, and we had bread, and we visited in her home for a while, and then we all got our old jackets back on, and we went across the street to Shirley's house. Shirley's from Chicagoland originally, and she made Chicago Italian beef. She had a big crock pot full of this juicy Italian beef with green peppers and onions, and she had some rolls, small rolls, and I brought some potato salad to add to her meal, and she also had some chicken wings to nibble on, and some mozzarella cheese that was cut up and rolled in hot pepper and parsley. Just a little nibble. I mean, it was a sizable amount to eat, but they tried to keep the meal small because we had to keep going to different houses. So we spent about an hour or so in Shirley's house, and we toasted with a delicious liqueur that I had never tasted before. It's tequila based, and it comes in a black bottle. It was ice cold. She keeps it in the refrigerator, and it had a rose on the label. And what it is a creamy strawberry flavored liqueur with tequila in it, and it kind of reminded me of what is that creamy drink? Bailey's Irish Cream. It reminded me of that, but it was strawberry and it was tequila, and it was good. I had 2 shots of that stuff during the course of the evening. So after we enjoyed, Christmas/New Year's Eve at Shirley's house, her tree was lovely, and she had decorations everywhere. We were going to go across the street again to another neighbor's house, but she wasn't feeling well, and apparently she wasn't able to cook her portion of the meal, so we went directly to another Lisa and Vince, her husband, who lived next door to Shirley. So that was really nice because Vince is from the New Jersey and Philadelphia, and he's lived in both places, and he's very New Jersey-ish and Philly-ish, and he's Italian, and he made desserts to die for. He made a brownie cake, and he made rice pudding with rum and cranberry raisins in it. And he had some kind of chocolate Rocky Road type ice cream. And he had biscotti that he didn't make, he bought. Big, long biscotti. They were this big. And he had champagne. And that's pretty much where we stayed until the 2012 bells. We put on the TV and we saw Times Square as a New Yorker. Who can't watch the ball fall in Times Square on New Year's Eve, right? So anyway, it was a great time. We had great food and we walked from one home to another and we visited and we ate and we drank and we laughed and we just enjoyed ourselves tremendously. And it was a nice time because not one person didn't have to do all the hosting. And it was just a little bit that everybody prepared, which made a very nice meal in totality. So I really enjoyed that. And then I stayed over Cheryl's. She told me, better off sleeping here. I don't want you driving home with the drunks on the road. She'll never forgive myself if you get in an accident. So I stuffed myself in her grandson's bunk bed, which was interesting because of my arthritis and my lousy back. I couldn't climb on the top of it, and crawling in the middle of it, I mean, I was talking about claustrophobia. I mean, here's the ceiling and here's me. And it was comfortable, though. I know it was comfortable enough for me. So I did sleep well during the night. And then the next morning, her husband, Tony, God bless him, such a nice man, he made what we call a frittata. You know what a frittata is, those Italians out there? It's like an egg souffle type mixed with something. Frittata, when I was growing up, was potatoes and eggs, spinach and eggs, peas and eggs with lots of cheese, any kind of vegetable or meat and cheese mixed with eggs and fried up in a pan. That's frittata. So he decided to make a frittata differently because he, like myself, has a lot of difficulty in flipping the frittata in the frying pan. You got to let it get nice and brown and solid, and then you flip it in the pan and get the raw side on the bottom so that it cooks, and it usually falls on the floor or half out of the pan. It's a terrible thing. My grandmother, no problem. She did it perfectly. But not me. And Tony says, you know what? I found a new way to do it. I cook it in the oven. So he made it up. He mixed the eggs. He put in some sausage. He put in some ricotta. He dropped ricotta in there with cheese and a little cream and whipped it all up. And he put it in a pan. And he cooked in the oven for about 40 minutes. It was delicious. I said, no fooling. I'm going to do mine this way next time. So we had a lovely New Year's Day breakfast with sausage and egg frittata and cheese and toast and coffee. And we chatted and visited a little bit more, and then I headed home. And it was good to be home. It was. So today I spent the morning taking down the Christmas wreaths and all the Christmas decorations that I have hung up, which is getting less and less every year because it's just me. So I like to decorate the house, but I don't go overboard like I used to. So anyway, here I am, spending a little time with you guys, wishing you a Happy New Year, and hoping that you all had a good time wherever you were, and I'm sure you did. And if you didn't, if you were alone in the home, I hope you had a good time. Anyway, having a glass of something to cheer in the new year and watching TV. I've done that many, many, many a time. So I understand that it does get lonely sometimes during the holidays when you're alone, but you live through it. So anyway, I did do something a little odd yesterday. I had, not odd to you guys maybe, but it was very odd to me. I had a final farewell with my strongest addiction. It was a hell of a time because I knew it was going to be probably the last time that I would be able to consume this food that has been I don't know, a paranoia of mine my whole life. I took some pictures. I wanted to download that as soon as I found out how to do it. And so I can show you. I tried to be funny with it, tried to be a little corny with various poses with my addiction. And I'm gonna put it together and so you guys can see it. But it was just a way of me knowing that once I get my vertical sleeve gastrectomy in February, which is really coming up soon, there's going to be a lot of changes made. And the binging that I been known to do is going to have to come to a complete and sudden halt. So anyway, guys, Happy New Year. Look forward to my next video. I will have some kind of a little slideshow showing you my final farewell with my love affair with my strongest addiction. And I hope you get a couple of giggles out of it because it was a bittersweet moment for me. So guys, bye-bye for now. Have a good new year. Start the year off with good food choices and strength, and I wish you health and prosperity, and let's all keep in touch. Bye.